motorfietsafdeling van verjaar se Dakar tydren behaal. Elfie Cox van Suid-Afrika was 6de in vandag se skof van 499 km. In die motorafdeling het nog 'n Fransman, Stefan Peterhansel, koning gekraai en nog 'n Suid-Afrikaner, Geniel de Villiers, was 6de. Sarel van Vuren doen verslag.
Vanjaar se tydren het gemaai onder die deelnemers. Van die 463 motorfietsse, motorkarre en vragmotors wat aan die begin weggespring het, was daar vanoggend nog net 276 oor. Vandag se roete het op Dakar in Mauritanië begin en geëindig en het hoofsaaklik gevaarlike kameelgras, reuse duine en diep sand beslaan. Depré is nou die algehele voorloper in die motorfietsafdeling en is sowat 20 minute voor Cox. Peter Hansel oorheers steeds in die motorafdeling in sy Mitsubishi. De Villiers het heelwat tyd verloor toe hy in die sand vasgeval het, maar het steeds opgeskuif na die algehele 4de plek. Intussen is 'n motorfietsjaer, die 41-jarige Spanjaard, José Manuel Perez, vandag in 'n hospitaal in Spanje dood, nadat hy donderdag geval het. Sarel van Vuren, SAK.
En daarmee groet die Afrikaner.
2005 Dakar Rally. Time is of the essence. Every moment on your channel of champions. Sponsored by Total Quartz Lubricants.
Welcome to stage 10 of the Telefonica Dakar 2005. From Dakar to Dakar. It may be a looping stage, but it was flat out fast. Fabrizio Mioni, former two-time victor of the Dakar, was trying hard, sometimes a little too hard. He was lucky to get away with that. An accident for Grégoire de Mavius. The Belgian is out. So after a rest day yesterday here in Dakar, a looping stage of some 483 kilometers with some very, very difficult dunes indeed. Even the locals said it was going to be hard out there in the midst of a sandstorm. Dawn this morning over the bivouac, and sad news. José Manuel Perez, the motorcyclist that crashed on stage 7, was medevaced out to Alicante in Spain, but unfortunately he passed away this morning with his injuries. 41 years old, it was his 4th Dakar, and so sad to see him pass away. However, at 7:30 this morning, the rally continued, with Fabrizio Mioni being first off this morning, in the middle of yet again the same sandstorm. But before the stage had even got underway, for some people there were problems, and this is not the first kind of finger trouble problem you're going to see in this feed after today's stage, after the rebuilding of so many bikes yesterday. This is Antoine Morel. He's the only quad left in the rally. He says, "This stage frightens me. I'm a little nervous about it here and now." Well, let's keep our fingers crossed for Antoine, being the only quad left in. He's only got another 7 days to go, including today, which is slightly easier said than done. Wouldn't it be brilliant if he got to Dakar? The locals this morning looked on to see the Dakar come through town before things really got into top gear. The Repsol KTM squad of Giovanni Sala and Mark Como going well. Giovanni Sala finishing 8th on today's stage. Absolutely Harry flatters over the latter part of the stage. But it was a game of catch-up. That was the order of the day. Mark Como managed to catch up Paul-Anders Ulvasetta from Norway, even though Como was a little on the ragged edge at times. Como finishing 5th today, saying, that was even close for me. Como now 3rd position overall, just over 16 minutes behind the overall leader of the Dakar here this evening, Monday. The Dakar finishes on Sunday afternoon, and can the Barcelona boy find those 16 minutes to clinch victory? The dunes were big, the dunes were massive, but most of all, the dunes were soft. That caught out many a person today, including Fabrizio Mioni. Mioni now, of course, obliged to take the single-cylinder KTM. No twins allowed anymore, except for 450cc capacity. And the big, tall, lanky, but strong Mioni managed to fight hard to try and get some time today through the dunes, but it was not to be. He eventually finished 2nd on the stage, some 10 minutes behind the stage victor. Mioni, though, losing his overall lead today. He's now 2nd overall, but only 9 minutes back. Can you imagine riding a motorcycle weighing well over 160 kilograms and full of fuel? It's about a 45 kilos more, and then going over the top of a dune and it catching you up. Mioni so lucky to get away with that one. The broken dune, a rider's worst enemy. The route organisation said that the going was going to be 30% harder today than even they expected. And even then, when they laid the route out a few months ago, it was hard anyway. Fabrizio Mioni left the Dakar 12 months ago saying that it was going to be his last one, but he's back and out to win again. Giovanni Sala saying, I've only got a few litres left in my bike, and I've given 2 of them to Mark Como, who was right on the limit with regards to fuel consumption. It's my business in this rally to help him out, and I did it. Here, though, is the Hungarian rider. This is Ákos Borgó. He is the first ever Hungarian to get so far to be so successful in the Dakar, so well done. We're on board with him. He says, thanks to everybody at my local bike shop, thanks to even the guy who made the stickers to put them on the side of my bike. Thank you all so very much to help me get this far. And having said that, you can't believe it. The thing then stops. But he manages to get it going again, and he continues on with only just a few more days to go. De Azevedo from Brazil in 9th position on today's stage. De Azevedo 9th overall, just 1 place ahead of Chris Blaise from the USA, heading his teammate Kellen Walsh in 11th position. Here, though, was David Frétinier. He used the two-wheel drive system on the Yamaha 450 for the very first time today. Trouble, though, for Frétinier. It made him 9 kilos heavier in the front end, and it really dug deep into the sand. Frétinier holding 6th overall. Alfie Cox from South Africa, 5th overall. He could not believe how soft that sand was out there. Cox, 5th overall, only 20 minutes back of the overall lead. Anything can happen from now on in. But it was Cyril Dupre who was the man who managed to be victorious on the stage and to continue to lead, to lead overall this evening. But sad news and bad news for the red, white and blue flag for Paul-Anders Ulevarsette. He crashed out of the rally towards the end of the stage, and he was helicoptered back to base. What's your feeling now you're out? Not funny. He says it's not funny at all.
Pajero.
So Dupre victorious on the stage to lead overall ahead of Mioni. Puyol got 3rd on the stage ahead of Frétinier with the two-wheel drive. Coma 5th today. Overall, Dupre has that lead over Mioni of 9 minutes 13 seconds. Coma 3rd, Puyol 4th, Alfie Cox in 5th. Frétinier with the Yamaha then in 6th ahead of Andy Caldicott, Sala de Azevedo, Chris Blaise.
Game over, no?
Paul-Anders Ulevarsette out of the rally. He says it's over now. It's the most stupid thing I've ever done. It was completely flat, and then I fell.
Au départ ce matin, j'étais parti 7e, 12 minutes derrière.
Cyril Dupre saying, this morning I started 7th, 12 minutes behind Esteve.
Avant toute chose, et c'est sûr qu'avant les minutes.
Good day for me. Before talking about ranking, though, I had a good feeling on the bike. At the beginning of the stage, it really did feel very good. I think that my Dakar really now does begin today. I'm happy to see this stage because it was relatively easy for me without being tired and worn out. I've got a good feeling.
Et vraiment bonne sensation, donc ça fait déjà plaisir. Bueno, he salido primero.
This is Esteve saying, when I started this morning, I was alone for a long time. When we got to the camel grass, he only caught me and then we rode together. Before CP2, it was very technical though, through the dunes with very soft sand for us. It was far too difficult, but for us, so I don't know what it's going to be like for the cars. After CP2, it was very quick and Dupre caught us up. We finished together, and I think it was, all in all, a very good day, a good day for me. Mioni saying the stage was not very difficult for me today. I tried to keep a good pace, but I think that Cyril was very quick today, even though I was flat out as well. For this Dakar, all competitors are equipped with the brand new Sentinel system that helps bikes and cars to be passed by quicker vehicles from behind. Mark Liara from Sentinel explaining the idea is very simple. When a car beeps its horn, the bike riders regularly can't hear it. So what we've done is to put a linked horn system onto the bike too. This is the Sentinel box, about as big as a large cigarette packet. We got various switches on it, one that can make the sound louder or lower, together with alterations to the visual warning as well. In the car, the box is here. I can alter the level of the light and the sound too, as you can hear.
on s'aperçoit ici donc le flash lumineux lâché au volume le minimum, médium, maxi, et ici j'ai le buzzer qui envoie le son. Bon.
So for example, we're coming up behind a bike, I beep the horn, and at the same time we transmit to the bike that I'm here to enable me to pass safely.
Et on passe, voilà, donc dépassement en toute sécurité, on va dire, grâce à la transmission à distance de l'information.
Obviously, when the system gets close, it links up. This is the reason why the Sentinel is on the machines this year. In the past, riders have been hit by encroaching vehicles, and Sentinel hopes to eliminate this in the future. The second advantage is that in case of a fall, you can put the system on constant to prevent another crash. And then every car which arrives will be able to hear the alarm, and therefore they can kill a bit of speed. All cars, bikes and trucks are equipped with the Sentinel for the very first year. The system has been tested very successfully on the Morocco and Tunisia rallies last season, before ASO, the Dakar organisers, decided to equip everybody with the system. It's a big step for security of everybody competing out in the desert. On this Dakar, a truck started on a stage in 63rd position. He finished 27th. He overtook 35 trucks in only 120 kilometres. Before Sentinel, surely that would have been impossible. "99 cars of 167 started this morning after the rest day here in Dakar. Here we are, Stefan Onrad. He said yesterday the rest day didn't go well. We had a strange noise in the gearbox before the rest day, and we went through the gearbox, we looked at everything, and we couldn't find anything. So I haven't slept well. I've been worrying about it all night." And he was to worry justifiably. Stefan Onrad, only a few kilometres into the stage, had, guess what? Yes, you're right, gearbox problems. And he was to go no further. He says the transmission has gone completely wrong, and I'm going to return back to the bivouac. So, whilst everyone else was on the stage, Stefan even had former teammate Jean-Louis Schlesser to come and help, and, well, the news was bad news. Onrad out of the rally. Former leader of this year's rally, Bruno Sabi, also running into problems, again with gearbox problems, but it is actually the gear linkage at the top in the cockpit that something's gone wrong with. So soon Juha Kankan and Juha Repo, teammates of course with the Volkswagen Touareg, were on hand. Kankanen under the car with Repo and the Flying Finns, well, flying mechanics. Soon though, Bruno Sabi eventually getting it fixed from within the cockpit.
Hey, c'est bon, oh! Michel! Michel, c'est bon, c'était pas serré seulement.
Got it all sorted, and all hands on deck were soon transformed to getting everything back on the road with his Touareg. Sabi losing maybe an hour and 20 minutes with the problem. He was 10th on today's stage. He continues to hold 7th overall, or dropping to 7th overall. Jose Maria Servia, he got 9th on today's stage, but he's way down the order with time lost earlier in the rally. Grégoire de Mavius had a big accident though. The rear kicked up and he went end over end. Jackie Dubois saying there was a jump. I didn't see it until it was only too late, maybe even 20 metres in front of us, and over we went. Look at the rear end of that Nissan. It is completely put out of joint. De Mavius was airlifted back to the bivouac, and although it looked bad, the Belgian was relatively okay. He'd maybe even just tweaked a previous back injury from the 2000 Dakar when he had another big accident. Ironically, he had that accident with Carlos Souza all those years ago. Sousa going well. He started today stage 4th overall, but he lost time on the stage and has yet to arrive into Dakar this evening. Bad news for the Portuguese driver, who is looking so well to get maybe even a podium finish come Sunday afternoon. Right then, what about the Works Nissans? Well, I mean Works Nissan of Janelle de Villiers. De Villiers losing maybe 20 minutes on the stage today with punctures, let alone getting stuck in the sand. Can you imagine driving out there in sand like this? Teammate Ari Vatanen started not far behind the South African and was soon on hand to help. But with sand such as this, what help can you give? De Villiers coming home today in 6th position on the stage. He's now up to 4th overall. Robbie Gordon was flying, as always, with his Volkswagen Touareg. He hooked up with Jutta Kleinschmidt. Gordon really been given, I suppose, team orders to assist Jutta Kleinschmidt to get to the end of the rally safely and securely. Robbie Gordon, remember that he lost time 3 or 4 stages ago. Gordon now 12 hours behind the overall lead, but Kleinschmidt still in 3rd overall. She started 40 minutes back, but she has now lost a few more minutes. She's 1 hour and 10 minutes back. Still, though, in 3rd overall. Volkswagen really upping the ante as a manufacturer on the Dakar. And even though she struggled just to crest some of the dunes, she's safe and well this evening. On board with Robbie Gordon. 5.5 hours on the stage today, getting really battered about inside the cockpit. There may be a sandstorm, but fortunately it's not as hot as it should be here in Mauritania at this time of year. It's a little cooler inside. Well, what about Hiroshi Matsuoka? Bad news for the former victor of the Dakar. He's out. He stopped on the stage. Mechanical woes with the 4-litre V6, and it was going nowhere fast. Andreas Schultz, an experienced mechanic, knew the worst. They were a long way from home. Matsuoka saying, we were going quickly, and then all of a sudden I rather fancy that the engine has broken. I don't understand why, because yesterday we checked everything with the engine, in fact the whole car. We wanted to go well today, and now it's finished. Bad news also for another Mitsubishi, this time the L200 of Andrea Meyer. She's still out in the stage as of the time of this broadcast. Therefore, it was down to Luc Alphond and Stefan Pederhansel, but it was Luc Alphond who shadowed Pederhansel on the stage today. Luc Alphond and Pederhansel doing the stage in unison. Formation flying for the Mitsubishi Evo 3s. They stopped to let the pressures down. They let them down to some 1.3 bar before the very soft sands. After, of course, the new rule for 2005, no automatic in-car remote inflation-deflation systems for the works machines. The crew have to get out and do it themselves, just as they used to do in the old days. Stefan Pederhansel, though, he has slightly increased his lead over teammate Alphond, but more importantly, the pair of them have increased their lead over Jutta Kleinschmidt's 3rd position. Pederhansel technically is 21.5 minutes back, ahead of Alphond. Jutta Kleinschmidt 1 hour 10 minutes back in 3rd.
There is no defense against the sands of time. And as time runs out, we must either run with it or be buried. The Dakar Rally Time thwarts lubricants.
Peter Hansel victorious on the stage, just ahead of Alphonse. Kleinschmidt with Robbie Gordon in close attendance. Ari Vatanen, 5th on today's stage, but way down in the overall rankings, which is led by Peter Hansel ahead of Alphonse, Kleinschmidt, De Villiers and Masuoka limping in. Roma, Sabi, Magnaldi, Monterde and Gordon.
Après, j'ai ouvert un peu la piste.
Stefan Peter Hansel saying, after we caught Alphonse, I ran first on the road for a while, then he overtook me. Then I passed him again. In fact, we stayed together for quite a while, 200 kilometers from the end. We inflated our tyres to get through well. Alphonse started 3 or 4 seconds behind me. Good day. Jutta Kleinschmidt saying we got team tactics this way. Gordon waited for me at the start. We drove together for 200 clicks. Then I got stuck once in the camel grass and Robbie helped me get out of it. We lost 10 minutes. Could have been worse though. Navigation was difficult. Sand very soft, which is why I decided to deflate after getting stuck. To be honest, it would have been impossible otherwise to get through. Not too bad, we're here, that's the most important thing.
No, that was the Dakar stage with everything in it. The camel grass for quite a long while, and that's like a motocross circuit. Dunes, some stones, good drivable speed, flat desert, everything. But you know, you mustn't stop many times, that's the only secret.
Kabirov went through the rest day, leading in the overall standings for the monster trucks of the Dakar. The Kamaz driver did well on today's stage. He was victorious ahead of teammate Vladimir Chigin, who continues to be in the rally actually. So Kabirov continuing to lead overall. The Russian crews so dominant in 2005. The stage was very difficult for all concerned. The dust storm seems to be going on for well over a week now. And as Gerard de Roy also ran into problems, at least his father was there to help him. Still waiting de Roy to appear at the finish. Likewise Hans Becks, who solved the problems with the suspension on his cab. And Yoshi Sugawara continues on, still hopeful to be the victor. It's going to be a tough task against the Kamaz. Stage 11 is tomorrow from Attar to Kiffa. It should be 656 kilometers, but news just coming through from the bivouac that the organisers have decided to move the finish line back to CP2, a shortened stage tomorrow to Kiffa. They will complete the stage as a road section. Join us tomorrow for more news of Dakar 2005.